Morning students, in the earlier class we discussed about differentiation and when the differentiation is to be used. Now we are going to discuss integration formulae. So what is this integration? Generally in your mathematics, if some 10 values are given and asked to add those 10 values, then you will add 10 values, for example 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4 plus 5, like that. So that is the arithmetic sum. If some values are given like 1 to 10, then you are asked to add, there is another notation sigma. So sigma I is equal to 1 to n, then I. If based on n, you can write 1 plus 2 plus 3 like that. So that is sigma notation. But if you don't know how many values to be added, but you will get the result as a summation only. For example, if this is the board and you are asked to find out the total area of the board, means here you will be given small area, and now you are asked to find total area of the board. Then how to find? If such small areas are added, like small areas are added along x direction and y direction, then if these areas are added along x direction and y direction, then you will get total area like this. So here how many areas to be added? Can we say? No. How many areas we have to add so that we will get total area? We can't say the number of areas to be added. Then what to do? So here we start from the edge. The edge is taken as, let us take this as edge. The edge is taken as origin. So that is the first limit. Then we will add areas from this point to here. Then how to add? So adding these areas, let us take this as 0, 0. So this is 0, 0, and we are adding up to here we are adding, if this is some 5, 5, then we will add all these areas in between 0, 0 to 5, 5. So we know from where to where areas are to be added, small areas to be added, so that we will get this entire area. So if such small areas are added like this, from this point here we are adding small areas, then we will get total area. So now here we don't know how many areas to be added. There is a continuous addition, but number is not known. What we know? From which point or from which position or from which limit to which limit we have to add, so that we will get a total value. So here what we are doing? We are taking first small value. Such small values are added in between limits. So this is one limit, this is one limit, this is said to be lower limit, this is said to be upper limit. Even if limits are not given, so then it is indefinite. Limits are not known. It is indefinite. So there is a definite and indefinite. Definite means in between some particular limits, the small values are added to get large value, and there may be indefinite, limits are unknown, you have to add for indefinite values. So here integrating means adding up, summation. Then what type of summation? It is not at all arithmetic sum, it is not having a sigma notation. Then this addition is continuous changes, means here the continuous summation in between particular limits. When a small value is known, then that small value is added up to give large value. So this integration is reverse of differentiation. Differentiation means taking a large value and dividing it into small values, differentiating. So taking a large value, getting the instantaneous change from it. Instantaneous change means small change. So differentiation means dividing the large element into small elements. Integration means adding the small element to give large elements. So integration is the reverse effect of differentiation. So whatever be the formula we are getting in differentiation, then the results will be integrated so that we will get true value or real value what we have been differentiated. So for example, here I am writing some differentiation formula, and I will show you how this reverse effect will be considered. That means if you remember differentiation formula very well, then automatically you can write integration formula. So you have to remember either differentiation formula or integration formula, so that if one is remembered, other can also be easily written. So now look at here, how to write integration. Here I explained what is integration and what is the need. So integration need is when there is again continuous changes where number of additions are not given, such time we have to go for integration. Moreover, integration is needed when a physical quantity depends on any other physical quantity. Like yesterday we discussed, that is, if velocity depends on time or acceleration depends on time, in such cases we differentiated. Similarly, if physical quantities depends upon other physical quantities, then also we have to go for integration. So differentiation techniques and integration techniques both are chosen when there is a need arises that physical quantities depends on other physical quantities. So look at here, integration methods. Here in integration we write this as integral symbol, integral x power n dx, integral x power n dx. So whereas in differentiation d by dx, okay, here integral x power n dx is equal to x power n plus 1 by n plus 1. So in the earlier class we discussed d by dx of x power n is equal to n into x power n minus 1. Now what we are saying is, if this is done in differentiation, the value what you are getting, if it is integrated, then again it gives x power n. Actually, when x power n is differentiated, this is the value you obtained. The reverse effect, if this value is integrated, then you will get again x power n. Here for x power n dx in integration formula is x power n plus 1 by n plus 1. Now similarly, if x power n is integrated, you are getting this one. If this is differentiated, then you will get again x power n. Means here when x power n is integrated, this is the formula. This is obtained. If this is differentiated, you will get again x power n. So let us check these two. Means if this is differentiated, d by dx of x power n plus 1 by n plus 1, as we know that n plus 1 is a number constant, so it could not be differentiated. So here this is in the form x power n. In the place of n we have n plus 1. So differentiating this x power n plus 1 according to the formula n plus 1 into, according to this formula, instead of n we are having n plus 1. So n plus 1 into x power n plus 1 minus 1, x power n minus 1 generally, but in the place of n we are writing n plus 1. Now n plus 1 cancels, plus 1 minus 1 cancels, it gives x power n. That means this is the formula in integration. Integral x power n dx gives x power n plus 1 by n plus 1. Whatever be the result you obtained in integration, if it is again differentiated, you get the real value. Similarly here, when you differentiate this one, d by dx of x power n, you are getting n into x power n minus 1. This is a differentiation formula. If this is integrated, since it is obtained from differentiation, now if it is integrated, again you will get x power n, like integral n into x power n minus 1 dx. While you are doing integration, here you will get integral and here it is dx. Then now n is not integrated since it is a number constant. So here x power n minus 1 dx, our integration formula for x power n is x power n plus 1 by n plus 1. This is integration formula for x power n. Instead of x power n, what we have written here, n minus 1. So here we are writing x power n minus 1 plus 1. Instead of n, we are writing n minus 1 by n minus 1 plus 1. Now this is minus 1 plus 1 cancels, this is n. Minus 1 plus 1 cancels, this is x power n. So when x power n is differentiated, you are getting n into x power n minus 1. Whatever be the result obtained in differentiation, if it is integrated, again you will get the first value. So these two are converse. Integration, when it is reversed, it gives differentiation value. Means here if it is integrated, this is the value. If it is differentiated, again you will get the first value. Similarly, if this is differentiated, you are getting this one. If it is integrated, again you are getting first value. Like that, the values obtained in differentiation, again if they are integrated, you will get the first value. Similarly, the values you obtained in integration, if they are differentiated, you will get first value. So this is the relation between integration and differentiation. Now I will write some integration formulae. So far I explained why the integration is needed. Means when there is no number of additions are given, but the value to be obtained in addition only, that time small value is taken. If it is integrated, you will get a total value. You are getting x power n differentiated here. Here x power n is integrated, means x power n is a small value and you are getting large value. So like that, when small elements are given and asked to find a large element, integration is the process. When large element is given, asked to divide it into small element, differentiation is the process. Both the process are used when any physical quantity depends on position and time. But when integration is used and when differentiation is used, that will be identify from the formula. From this formula, just one example I will give you now. When differentiation is used and when integration is used, very simple one. If you have like some velocity is depending on time, that means if it is like 3t squared, velocity is depending on time, if it is 3t squared. Now you are asked to find acceleration, you are asked to find displacement. So here velocity is depending on time, one physical quantity is depending on other physical quantity. You are asked for acceleration and displacement. Now how to do this one? So here velocity, the relation between acceleration and velocity is change in velocity with respect to time interval is acceleration. So when velocity is given in terms of time, d by dt of 3t squared, then since velocity is time dependent, now you can differentiate with respect to time, you will get acceleration. So here the physical quantity what you are asked is obtained from the ratio, then here the differentiation is taken. If it is obtained from the ratio, differentiation is taken. Similarly, velocity is displacement, which is dx by time, displacement by time interval. So this is instantaneous velocity. Then displacement is asked, dx is v into dt, dx is v into dt. Now here it is product, multiplication. If you look here, it is in the form x power n dx. So in order to get total displacement, what you have to do is take integral symbol. So when the value you have to find is in the product, then here you have to go for integration. Primarily that physical quantity depends on other physical quantity, then only you choose either differentiation or integration. But the clarity should be in your mind such that when differentiation is chosen when the physical quantity to be find is in the ratio. So then only differentiation is chosen. The physical quantity to be find is in multiplication, then integration is to be chosen. Keep these 2 points in your mind. Okay. Here I am writing some integration formulae which will be useful for our physics chapters. First formula is integral x power n dx is x power n plus 1 by n plus 1. Here if limits means from where to where the integration is to be done, that are limits. One is called lower limit, another one is called upper limit. The limits should be in the same physical quantity with respect to which you are integrating. Here you are integrating with respect to x, that means these the limits also should be in x coordinates, then only you can integrate. After integration, if limits are given, then here after writing the integration formula, limits to be taken here. Then first substitute the upper limit, which is also called higher limit. So in the place of x, first substitute x2 power n plus 1. Then take minus and substitute x1 power n plus 1 by n plus 1 is there. It is the number. So here this is integration formula. Integration formula for x power n dx, integral x power n dx is formula is x power n plus 1 by n plus 1. Here there are two ways to write. One is when limits are given, then the method is after integrating, take the limits and substitute the upper limit first and take minus, then substitute the lower limit in the place of x. So, when limits are given, this is the process. If limits are not given, then the same formula is same, no change, but limits are not given. This is an indefinite, this is having definite limits. Integration is done between certain values only, but here limits are not mentioned. At that instant, after integrating, you have to take some constant c, which is called integration constant. This c value can be found by using initial values, means taking at initial time t is equal to 0, then at that time what is the value of x. By taking these things, c can be found. So, this is integration without limits, this is integration with limits. Now, some more formulae we will write in integration, that are these are all reverse formulas of differentiation. So, here integral 1 by x dx is log x. Actually, we wrote d by dx log x is 1 by x. Here this is the reverse. If that 1 by x is, here I am writing differentiation also for your convenience, d by dx of log x base e is equal to 1 by x. Now, here if 1 by x is integrated, you will get log x. Similarly, integral sin x is, sin x dx is minus cos x. Actually, d by dx of cos x is minus sin x. So, for cos x it is minus sin x. Then for minus sin x it is cos x. Taking minus to this side, it is minus cos x. Similarly, we know d by dx of sin x is cos x. So, d by dx of cos x gives minus sin x. Then sin x of integration gives minus cos x. Here sin x differentiation gives cos x. Then cos x integration gives simply sin x. So, here it is integral cos x dx is sin x. Similarly, d by dx of sin nx is n into cos nx. This is when it is multiplied by the variable, then it will be brought into the front side, n into cos nx. Now, here if integral cos nx is taken dx, then it will be, for cos nx it is sin nx by n. For cos nx dx integration, it is sin nx by n. Now, if integral n cos nx is integrated, this is sin nx by n cancels, you will get again sin nx. The reverse theory will be, so here when sin nx is differentiated, you are getting n cos nx. If n cos nx is integrated, you get sin nx. Here we are just integrating cos nx. So, this is sin nx by n. Similarly, d by dx of cos nx is equal to minus n sin nx. Here sin nx dx is equal to minus cos nx by n. So, trigonometric functions sin and cos, when they are differentiated, when they are integrated. When you are getting differentiation formulae, then take the entire formula into integration. Then again you will get this first value. Here also same. If you are integrating this one, you get this one. Now if it is differentiated, again you will get cos nx. So like that, just make your trials with these relations. Some more formulae related, but here remember, this is most important one. Here you have to remember, this one also encounters, and here this sin nx and cos nx are most important in your intermediate. So I will write some more formulae. Now d by dx of tan x, we got secant squared x. D by dx of cot x, we got minus cosecant squared x. So here first I am writing differentiation. D by dx of tan x, what we got? Secant squared x. D by dx of cot x minus cosecant squared x. D by dx of secant x tan x, and d by dx of cosecant x minus cosecant x cot x. So these are the formula. We derived these formulae from u by v method. So now taking simply the reverse format, then we will get the same. If we take integral secant squared x dx, you will get tan x. Integral, if secant squared x is integrated, you will get tan x. If cosecant squared x is integrated, you will get minus cot x. Similarly, integral secant x tan x is integrated, you will get secant x. Integral cosecant x cot x is integrated, you will get minus cosecant x. So relative to differentiation formula, the reverse effects will be taken in integration. So it is very easy to remember the formula. If once you remember the formula in differentiation, you can easily obtain the same in integration. Now here in integration, there is integral, some physical quantities are given as any physical quantities, u plus v dx. Then here the integration will be done in two parts, like integral u dx plus integral v dx. It will be separately integrated. This physical quantity will be separately integrated. This physical quantity will also be separately integrated. This is one method we can use for. Okay. So these are some integration formulae you have to remember. Now we will take some examples and solve in integration methods. Thereafter we can introduce these integration techniques into our physics in motion in a straight line. So before that, some integration formula, like if you are given integral x power 3 dx from x is equal to 2 to 3, then the formula is x power n plus 1 by n plus 1, that is x power 3 plus 1 by 3 plus 1. Since limits are given, these limits will be taken here. So this is x power 4 by 4 limits are from 2 to 3 meters. Then first substitute higher limit, it is 3 power 4 minus substitute lower limit 2 power 4 by here this is 4. 3 power 4 is 81, 2 power 4 is 16 by 4. 81 minus 16 is 65 by 4. 4 16 64. Then 0.25. So here x power n dx, x power n plus 1 by n plus 1. Limits are taken from 2 to 3. X position changes from 2 to 3. Then first substitute upper limit in x, then minus substitute lower limit in x. Then you will get the result. So this is the integration formula where x power n dx can be used. Now if this is given as integral x minus 1 into root x dx is equal to question mark, you have to find. How to approach? Already I told you that if there is uv dx, we can write u dx plus v dx. Similarly here, if this is x minus 1 root x dx, first we will write this into two terms like x root x minus root x into dx. Then here this is x root x minus root x dx. Then this is u, you can take this as u and you can take this as v. So writing separation, x root x dx minus integral root x dx. Now here this is x power half into x power 1. So it will become x power 3 by 2 dx, x root x minus x power half dx. Now these are in the form x power n dx. So we can write x power n plus 1 3 by 2 plus 1 by 3 by 2 plus 1 minus x power 1 by 2 plus 1 by 1 by 2 plus 1. Since limits were not given, we have to write integration constant as some c. Now it will be x power 5 by 2 by 5 by 2 minus x power 3 by 2 by 3 by 2. So this is 2 by 5 x power 5 by 2 minus 2 by 3 x power 3 by 2. So like that the final result will be obtained with plus c. If limits are given, you can easily substitute the limits. When once integration is done for this objective, you will substitute the limits for this one separately and again for this one separately. So you will get the final value. This is one method to write integration. So this is in the form integral u plus v dx is integral u dx plus integral v dx. Okay. Well, now these are the integration methods. So you have to read these formulae very thoroughly until you get these formulae in your mathematics. So here this is very important to remember. Now when these integration techniques are used in our motion in a straight line, so what we are dealing is uniformly accelerated motion, means acceleration is constant, but if acceleration depends on time, then when acceleration depends on time, we could not use equations of motion which are v is equal to u plus at, s is equal to ut plus half at squared, v squared minus u squared is equal to 2as, and s is equal to u plus v by 2 into t. These equations could not be used when acceleration is variable. They are valid when and only acceleration is constant. If acceleration will be given as a is equal to 3t squared plus 2t, since acceleration is changing with time, of course, here if this is in the form ut plus half at squared, then this value may get constant. But if the value is like 3t squared, that means you are getting u value as 0. You can identify, first of all, while looking into the picture, here how to identify. But here this is not a displacement, whereas in the earlier cases we wrote this formula for displacement. But here that expressions are given for acceleration, means acceleration itself is changing. No question of constant. It is changing completely. It depends on time. So, if this is the expression for displacement, then you can say it as it is ut plus half at squared. So, this is constant acceleration a by 2 3 a 6. But here acceleration is itself varying. So, it is completely time dependent. Time dependent means it is a non-uniform accelerated motion. So, when acceleration varies with the time like this, then these expressions are invalid. Then how to solve? First of all, acceleration is dv by dt. Since acceleration depends on time, if you are asked to find out final velocities, then dv a dt, change in velocity, instantaneous change, dv a into dt. Here this is product. Acceleration depends on time. In these two equations, it depends on time. Then dv is equal to a dt. To get v, we have to integrate. That is, integral dv is equal to integral a dt. So, here velocity changes from initial values to final values. So, here integral u to v dv, time changes from t1 to t2. Here the limits should be in the same physical quantity with respect to what you are integrating. Okay. So, integral u to v dv is equal to integral t1 to t2 a dt. So, this is the form which v is equal to u plus at is transferred. Actually, the form v is equal to u plus at will be used when acceleration is constant. But here acceleration is variable. It is changing with the time. Acceleration is a function of time. Then acceleration dv by dt, dv a dt, integral dv is integral a dt. So, this is the form which is similar to v is equal to u plus at. But why we are not using directly v is equal to u plus at means that is valid only acceleration is constant. This is valid when acceleration is variable. So, here if we integrate this one and taking a as 3t squared, so how this will be solved? Integral dv uv means here you have 1 into dv. Generally we have to write x power n dx, since dv is there, but here v power n is not given. So, we can take this one as 1 into dv is 1, where 1 can be written as v power 0. This is equal to integral a 3t squared dt t1 to t2. Now take from 2 seconds to t1 3 seconds we are taking 2 to 3 seconds. When time changes, then what is the final velocity? Acceleration is varying with the time. Acceleration is varying with the time from 2 seconds to 3 seconds. Then you are asked to find out the velocity at 3 seconds, means that is v. So let u as some any 2 meter per second, it is given. So you have to find v. First you have to do integration. In the place of integral dv, you can write v power 0 dv also. This is in the form x power n dx, which can be written as x power n plus 1 by n plus 1. So v power n plus 1 by n plus 1. This is 0 plus 1 by 0 plus 1. Limits are 2 to v. Final value to be determined. Here this is 3 is constant. When it is multiplied by t squared, you can take it out of the integration. So 3 into t power 2 plus 1 by 2 plus 1. So here limits 2 to 3 seconds. 3 would not be integrated. Why? Because it is a constant multiplied with the variable. It can be taken out of the integration. So here this is v power 0 plus 1, v power 1, which is v, by 1 is v, and here 2 to v limits t power 3 by 3, 2 to 3. What we are saying, first substitute upper limit, that is v, then minus lower limit 2 is equal to 3 into, here in the place of t, first substitute 3 cube minus substitute 2 cube by 3 is here. So 3 will be cancelled out. So now 3 cube 9 minus 2 cube 8. So 9 minus 8, sorry, 3 cube 27 minus 8, which is 19. So v minus 2, v is equal to 21 meter per second. Once again I will repeat this. So here this is the formula which is a replacement of v is equal to u plus at when acceleration is time dependent. Acceleration is not constant, then only you have to use this one. If acceleration is constant, we can derive v is equal to u plus at from this also. So first of all, acceleration is function of time. Acceleration is time dependent, which is a dv by dt. So here dv can be written as a into dt. You are asked to find velocity when acceleration is time dependent. So how to find velocity? Velocity will be obtained as the product of acceleration and time. If acceleration is time dependent, then the product will be taken in integration only. If it is time dependent, velocity is time dependent, then this ratio gives acceleration. That means it is differentiation. But here you need not to go for differentiation. Why? Because here acceleration is given as function of time. Asked to find velocity means velocity will be obtained as the product of acceleration into time, which is integration since product is there. So here this is integral dv a dt. This is the formula. Now when acceleration is time dependent, it will be given in terms of time. Then integrate it and finally you will get final velocity during the third second, since t2 velocity is v. Now if acceleration is constant, which is not depending on time, then we can obtain v is equal to u plus at from the same formula, like here I am writing the same one, how to get V is equal to U plus AT if A is constant. So far we discussed that A is not constant. If A is constant, what we are saying? Constants can be taken out of the integration, no need to integrate. Then A is taken out of integration. This is dt. Here this is dv, u2v. Let us take these time intervals are 0 seconds to t seconds. Now, if it is dv alone, we can write it as v power 0. Since this is 1 into dv, dv. Since it is dt alone, we can write it as t power 0. Now, integrating v power 0, we will get v power 0 plus 1 by 0 plus 1. Simply, you can say integral dv is v. That's it. Integral dv is v. Why? Because if we write as v power 0, here you are having v power 0 plus 1 by 0 plus 1. That means v power 1 by 1, which is v. So, since this is the earlier classes, I am telling in this way. But thereafter, everywhere if you find anything as integral dv as integral dt, directly write integral dv as v, integral dt as t, like that. Now here, a t power 0 plus 1 by 0 plus 1, 0 to t. Now this is v power 0 plus 1, v, u to v, a into, since a is constant, t 0 to t. Now substitute the limits. Initially v upper limit taking minus, then substitute lower limit. A initially t upper limit minus 0 lower limit. Now this will be v minus u at. V is equal to u plus at. When this is valid, what we are saying? Acceleration is constant. So for constant acceleration, we are obtaining the formula. But what is the use? By taking the integration and deriving the same formula, we already have the formula. So here, when integration techniques are needed, when acceleration is time dependent, and what we derived in the earlier session, their acceleration is time dependent and we have taken 3t squared. So in that cases, we go for integration techniques. This is the first method, which is similar to v is equal to u plus at. Here the method is integral dv is equal to integral a dt. Okay.